shocks, everything. Driver, motor, you got to manage the heat.
Steve Park, our leader, Darrell, in what's a very untraditional Bristol race. Now, Park started 17th. Jeff Gordon started 15th. And only one out of every 8 races here has been won from outside the top 10 starting spots.
Well, we've had a lot of long green flag racing, too. Well, I tell you, why don't we just take a break? These guys have got to be getting tired. I know I am.
We'll be right back to Bristol with more NASCAR on Fox.
Kids in Bristol are sharp as a pistol when they do. Bristol stop. Really something when the joint is jumping when they do. Bristol stop.
The Dovells, Darrell, whose car do they pin? There's Steve Park trying to get past Michael Waltrip.
That's it. Michael Curtis, that's his teammate right there behind him. And, of course, he's trying to stay on the lead lap. But I got to tell you something, bro. If I was driving that one car, I don't know if I'd have been near as patient as his teammate was. Because he held him up there for about 10 laps, let everybody catch up with him, and surprised me that he did that.
What do you mean surprised, Darrell? I remember one time we won a race up here and you spun your brother down in turn 2.
Got to go, man.
I know it was time to go. He's holding you up, but
Got
you
them
didn't do
leaders.
it. I saw it.
Got those leaders breathing down my back, buddy. I know you're my teammate. I know you're my brother, but I got to go, man.
So much for nepotism.
That car that Michael's driving, the 15 car, Steve Park's kind of used to that car. That's the car that Steve drove here both races last year and actually sat on the pole a year ago. Then they give this car to the new race team that Michael was driving for, built this car for Steve earlier in the year.
Well, you crewed Mike Skinner last year. Didn't he once say he'd spin his grandmother out to win a race?
To win a race. When you've been 140-something races, you kind of get to that point.
Well, leading a race is, you know, you just got to keep up your rhythm. You got to keep your pace. You saw that Park run up on the 8 car, the other DEI car. Dale Jr. rode up the hill, let him go.
But, you know, we talked about the Bristol stall, but this has typical Bristol characteristics. In the first 88 laps, Darrell, we had 5 cautions. Since then, now here on lap 323, we've only had 2. Everybody finally figured out we wasn't getting a whole lot done spinning each other out.
No, well, you get enough cars, get a few cars knocked off the track, spin them, get wrecked, and they go in the garage, get a little more room to race. Plus, let me tell you something. The guys, there's one that got wrecked by his teammate. No fault of anybody's, but torn up car. The guys that I want to start watching is the Harvicks, Todd Bodines, some of the guys that run the races yesterday, Jimmy Spencer, because we're at 325 laps without many cautions. 250 laps yesterday, 500 laps today. They'll have to help them out of the cars.
Kevin Harvick here in the 29 car, got to remember, way back when he was leading the race, he had that fender problem and got jumped back all the way to 38 by having to come back in. And here, 320-something laps later, he has only worked his way back to 11. So hard to get back to the front at Bristol.
Yeah, Terry Labonte's had the problem there of pitting on the backstretch. Each time he's had to pit under caution, he's lost 5 or 6 spots. And even though he's had a very good car, that put him back into the clutches of the leaders here.
And I feel like they maybe went wrong on some adjustments because he had a good race car. Now, here, just a few laps, he's actually went a lap down.
Yeah, and I liked his car before this last caution, but the car just is not hooking up like it had been earlier.
Ricky Rudd, the 5th place car.
And he is up there riding around and out of harm's way. He's just trying to stay out of trouble till they get another caution, make another pit stop, put it back like it was, boys.
Tony Stewart's just gone a lap down, and now in front of Steve Park is the 4, Kevin LePage, the driver. That team based in nearby Abingdon, Virginia. Beautiful town to visit. Larry McClure's got a racing museum there that you can go see some of their great race cars of the past. But Kevin LePage has hopped in this ride after a week of legal wrangling. Robbie Gordon is now out of that car. His 5-year contract has been dissolved with the Morgan McClure team, and Kevin LePage is his replacement for at least this race.
5 races must have seemed like 5 years to somebody.
You know, again, they had a long contract. But in this business, as important as it is to get along, if you're getting along, it's hard to beat these people. If you're not getting along, you're not going to beat these people.
Oh, no. If you're not happy at 5 races into the season, they did the right thing. Let's straighten it out now.
LePage, pitting in the backstretch and taking a provisional start, has done a good job of staying on the lead lap all day, but Steve Park is coming hard. Jeff?
One thing I wanted to bring into play here is as we get down toward the latter part of the race here, now we got 167 laps to go. Pit strategy and pit stops are going to be very important. Who pulls the trigger first, how they get on pit road, could have a big outcome of who wins this race today.
But, Jeff, as these guys get up to around 150 or 160 laps on their tire, you know, no matter how good of a green flag look it has, something's going to happen. I'm a big believer in short pitting, but at Bristol, I want to stay out there as long as I can because you know any second. In fact, a good sign that a caution's going to come is for me being the crew chief in the hit pit road and the caution come out.
I'll agree with that. And the other thing is, Junior Johnson used to tell me, boy, you don't come into the last time you either run out of gas or you run out of tires. The 66 car got into trouble right there off, it looked like off of turn 2.
And caution is out for debris up in turn number 2.
I think that came off the 66 car.
And there it is, the caution right there. Somebody talking about coming to pit road, the caution goes out.
I've been coming here for a long time, and I can't remember the last time I had to make a green flag pit stop at Bristol. I know y'all worry about it all the time, but as a driver, I'm saying I don't know why y'all are talking about this.
Hard to believe, Darrell, but there was a caution-free race here. In the summer of 1971, Charlie Glotzback won it, the only caution-free race at Bristol.
He's probably driving Junior Johnson's car, too. Junior was a master at getting a car for here.
Piece of underbody metal support out there in the corner that they'll pick up.
That's a crash bar. Not nearly big enough for here, but that's what that is.
You need about 1 3/4 inches.
That's right.
For here.
Need to make one a little bigger next time, guys.
Looks pretty crashed, all right. And pit road will open this time. That was great timing for Kevin LePage. He was able to stay on the lead lap.
We just had a close call there coming on pit road. Bill Elliott, the 9 car, he had the leaders blocked in, Dick Berggren.
Steve Park is just at the very last second called for an adjustment on the front tires. They had to run literally with a tire pressure unit to get that amount of air in there. 24 also in. They had talked about a 2-tire change on the 24. Let's go to that. Park is done already.
John Andretti down and away. No adjustments on the 43 car. He says the car is still loose on entry, but they're afraid to make some adjustments. To Jeannie.
Jeremy Mayfield been pretty pleased with his car all day. Just going to take 4 tires and the tire change, the front tire changer. Jeffrey Baker actually out here today with a bit of a heavy heart. His grandma passed away just this past week. He's hoping to get a victory from her. Steve?
Jeannie, Sterling Marlin came in. The 40 car came in, changed 4 tires. Just an air pressure adjustment. Sterling still complaining that the car is tight from the center off.
He did a great job getting out of the pit. Sterling did, that is.
Boy, that 43 bunches, I mean, they are spot on today, boys.
The 43 car, yeah, they're having great pit stops. And again, these pits are so tight. I talked about it earlier. He has an opening in front of him because that's where the 36 car's pitting. And now he's leading the race after a good pit stop.
Well, this changes everything. We got a bunch of cars that, the crew, look at them. They are excited about getting that car. How do they do that? I mean, they have not been known to make 14, 15-second pit stop. This week, they're right there. Look at that.
You know when it feels good. You know when that pit stop feels good and you beat your guys, them competitors out.
Caution out at Bristol for the 8th time today. We'll be right. On the restart, Sterling Marlin has gone to the front. It's Marlin, John Andretti, Steve Park, Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace. Still 19 cars on the lead lap.
Boy, you might want to wake up early.
Lead change, John Andretti to the front.
There he went. Was right behind these guys. Whoa, me. You do not even want to look back.
Now that's rush hour.
Oh.
2 by 3 by 2 by 4.
That is very uncomfortable to be a part of.
Some of these cars, lead lap cars, some of them a lap down. I used to, drivers say, who do I need to race? I said, man, you've got to race everybody.
Trouble down the back. 66.
Oh, Mike
7.
Wallace takes a hard hit to the inside wall. Caution out. I don't know if the leader's got it.
We'll know here in a second.
Bill Elliott, he goes all the way to the apron. They've talked to him, the 7 car, trying to get that lap back. He's not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, he is.